Hello guys, welcome to this lecture. In our past couple of lectures, we went over in the sketch application how to draw some of these weather icons that we found in openweathermap.org. Now, what I did before this lecture, I added all of these files into a separate icon folder. The first thing that I did was I right clicked or two fingers clicked and added a new group, called it icons. And then I went to the location of where all my weather icons were, selected them all and dragged and dropped it. After I dragged and dropped it, I clicked the checkbox to copy to group and also to copy and reference it, and I clicked OK, and all the files are here. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the storyboard and place our weather icon in our on our storyboard so that whenever we run our application and it selects a city, it will bring up the appropriate weather icon that's correlating to whatever they say. Whether it's cloudy, it'll bring clouds, or if it's sunny, it'll bring the sun. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my image view file. I'm going to drag it to my view controller. And I'm going to make this fit my view controller, not all the way, but most of my view controller is going to be covered by my image. Because it has a white background, I want to be full. Okay. So now that I have my image, let's just fill the image in with one of the icons and just to get a feel of where it is. All right. So now that I have my image, my weather icon on my view controller, the thing that I want to do is I want my image to be in the background of my view controller. To do that, all you have to do is drag this image, our image, and bring it to the top of the view controller. Because according to how you select it, it stacks them, and the first one will be behind the others. So let's move this to the top, and you see it's in the background. So just for the neatness, I'm going to bring this below here, make sure it's centered, and I'm going to reset the suggested constraints. First, reset the suggested constraints, and for my image, let me add some constraints to this image. So, add missing constraints. So everything looks good. Okay, the constraints are good. Okay, so now that we have our image aligned, in order for this application to work, to select the correct icon according to the numbers, we're going to have to add the icon to our view controller. And to do that, we want to open the assistant editor and go back to the main storyboard. Click on the view controller. When you click on the view controller and open the system editor, it will bring you directly to the view controller that you need to make the connection to. So let's do that. This will come in handy when you have tons of view controller, so you won't add it to the wrong one. So let's go to the view controller scene and add it from here. So we want to call this icon image. Okay, now that we have this connected to our view controller, the next thing that I'm going to do is, first of all, close the assistant editor, and go to our instructions, our instruct file. So our instruct file, if you remember, is called weather, and this is our instruct. So the only thing missing from this instruct file is our icon. So let's add a icon variable. So let icon, and this is going to be a string. And we also want to add it to our initiation file. Initiate, excuse me. Probably the same thing, but let's call it initiate. So we're going to add icon here, and this is also going to be a string here. So now we also need to add icon and add the string icon. Okay. So this one has no errors, but all the other view controllers and files are the Swift files are gonna have errors because it's missing the icon. For example, the initiate file here, it needs the icon. So this is called icon, and this is gonna be rep2. So now we need to add the icon under here as well. And you remember how we added it for description? It's going to be the same thing since the icon is part of the weather array. And let me just show you for clarification. So let's go back to the weather website, and you see here where the array is for weather. Icon is a part of it, just how description is. So we're going to do the same thing we did with description. So we're going to first type in the weather, and it's going to pull the first property from in that array, and we're going to ask it to get the icon, and this is going to be a string. Okay, so now the last thing that we need to change in order for this to work is we need to go to our view controller and have our set weather method bring up the correct weather icon whenever it calls a city. So since we already have it connected, we connected our image view from our storyboard to our view controllers.swift file. We are able to type in the rest of the information here. So the first thing that we're going to type is going to be the icon image, and this is going to be an image, and it's going to equal to UI image name. It's going to be the string, and it's going to be weather dot icon. Okay. Now let's clean our code. Make sure it's okay. Looks like the clean was success. All right, so clean. Okay, it's clean. So now let's build and run. Let's test it out. Okay, succeeded. It's good. So far, so good. It looks like it aligned out good. So now let's select our city. And what city do I want to select? Let's select New York. Press OK. And you see how our icon changed and also our button changed. So it's looking really good. Let's test it out again. Good old Austin, Texas. Cloudy. So there you have it. What we did is we added our icon. We added our icon images that we created through Sketch to our file. We made sure on our storyboard that we added a UI image file, and we just selected an icon, one of our icon image as the faceplate. Make sure that they align good. We made sure we put in the background. We connected it to our view controller, added it to our instructions in our, involves our initiate file, made the proper changes to add the icon weather information, and also added it to our initiate file. And then we presented the icon, weather icon, correlating to what city we called. So thank you for watching, and we're going to be continuing to design our view controller. Again, thank you for watching.